welcome to the Laura Ingalls Wilder Legacy Awards Luncheon. You might notice I'm not really standing in the banquet hall in Mankato, and that's because it's really hard to be on both sides of the camera at the same time. It didn't get recorded, so instead we're going to have to be a little patchwork. I'm going to redo the parts I did myself, since I have me, and then I have an audio recording of the recipients, and we're going to put that up with some still pictures. I think it's important enough that even though that's kind of a patchwork, that I wanted to get it online anyway, and that I hope that you will agree and enjoy your time here at the luncheon.
The board is responsible for quite a bit of that, but we also rely on the help of volunteers. And there are two volunteers in particular, members of the LIWLRA, that I would like to recognize at this time. These are people who, if you asked them to do something, they did it, and you knew it was going to get done. And more often than not, came back and said, how else can I help? And that's really the most that you can ask. The first member of the LIWLRA that I'd like to present a special certificate of recognition to is Laura Welser. Laura, could you come up here, please? And while Laura's making her way up here, the second person that I would like to present this to is also named Laura, and her name is Laura Chapman. And I haven't even met her yet. Is she here? Hi!
Now I want to tell you a little bit about the Legacy Award. In July of 2009, the board met in De Smet, South Dakota to start planning the 2010 conference, and one of the things we decided was a real need that hadn't yet been met was to recognize some of the people who made a contribution to Laura Ingalls Wilder fandom. People who did research, people who got museums started, and people who made it possible to have the Laura Ingalls Wilder experiences that we have today. We were also concerned because there were people who had made major contributions to Laura fandom and then just drifted away. That's a problem when you know people mainly through an organization. If something happens and they leave it, you sort of lose track and you never find out what happened to them. So we wanted to let people know, while we still knew where they were, that we wanted to take the time to show our appreciation and recognize the value of their work. And so we established the Legacy Award. Our first recipient, given at the 2010 conference, was, of course, Bill Anderson. I don't think anyone needs any explanation of that. Bill has taught us an incredible amount about Laura, and if he hadn't started doing research when he had, much more would have been lost. But Bill doesn't get the award every year. So this year we have two people that we really wanted to come to the conference and give an award to, Barbara Walker and Shirley Knockmoose.